hear
Can I
what
say
is.
something?
Yes, please go ahead,
Yeah,
Victoria.
Victoria, please.
Um,
Victoria, go ahead.
it's just that I really do agree with you with what you said. This was her first visit.
Yeah.
She is the guest of the house. So every the cooking should have been done by him. I wouldn't if he was my brother and I was staying there and she did what she did, I would not fault her. In fact, if she had come and started cooking and cleaning, I will see her as
Like food.
somebody who is betraying herself by trying to prove that she is wife material. Because this is what we're talking about. We talked about this even last week, Chege, if you remember, about
Yes, I do.
we betray ourselves and do all those things because we want to be picked. We want to be considered as wife material. So what kind of value does she have if she goes to his house the next morning she's waking up to clean, wash bathroom, start cooking? That is showing desperation. That is showing that I want to be picked. I want to be picked. I don't see anything wrong with what she did. He shouldn't have set that expectation at all. They're not dating really, really, because they met online. She came for the first visit. All entertainment should have been done by him. All cooking should have been done by him. She could have said, oh, you know what? Hey, you cooked, you made me breakfast, you made me lunch. Hey, why don't you sit down? I'll make dinner. That's that would be her choice. But to expect her to come and start cooking and cleaning, this is what we're talking about. That people are giving up on themselves. She's not setting boundaries. She's saying that, okay, here, because if she had done that, the next day, what makes you think that he's not going to invite 10 of his friends and say, hey, my girlfriend is here? And then she goes in the kitchen cooking for 10 people that she didn't plan for. Why there is no commitment? He's not saying I'm going to marry you. You guys are just getting, this is your first visit. So I agree with you to say that the expectation was wrong. She should not be cooking and cleaning for him. Absolutely not. You were invited as a guest. You treat her as a guest. If there's, in fact, the fact that he said that, if I was her, we're breaking up. I'm not, absolutely not. I'm gonna come here and be your cook and your cleaner because that's the expectation. And this is what we're talking about. We're trying to change people's mindset about these expectations. This is not how relationships should be. There are people who are not, they're not very good with domestic chores. Even in their house, if you go probably and ask the parents and the siblings, they'll say, oh, yeah, that person is a lazy person. But it doesn't mean that they're bad people. I've seen several Nigerian men that if I go to their house, they're the ones cooking and cleaning. They know what the strengths of their wives are. They focus on that. So having a relationship with someone, getting married to someone should not be tied to how domestic they are, how good they are at cooking and cleaning. That is not all to relationship. So a man who comes with that and without expectation is not going to be a good partner, period. Because the expectation is for you to come and be a slave, and that's it. So he was frowning at the fact that she was on TikTok. She's a single person. You cannot dictate what she does with her free time and how she's raising, how she's making her money. That was just wrong. So, I mean, no disrespect to you, Ebuka. I understand what you're saying, but this is what we're trying to say. And like you said, somebody made a comment also that, oh, she should say what her thing is so that when they get married, they don't change. So she was very authentic by showing that I'm not that kind of person, right? She didn't come cleaning and everything. So she set her expectation of who she is. She's not trying to be picked. When she might change. It might be that this was intentional on her part as well to say, oh, does this person expect me to come and be cooking and cleaning and washing clothes and doing all of this? No, absolutely not. So this is the boundaries that we're talking about. It kind of ties down to that because this is the expectation. So if you are taking her to his family's house, the expectation again will be for her to go to his parents' house and start cooking and cleaning like she's a slave. Why? I'm not married to you. Why would I do that? I'm a guest there. If I see your mom cooking, I can sit down and join and help cut vegetables, but I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to clean your house from top to bottom. No, absolutely not. So, Ebuka, I understand what you're saying. I don't have any, it is your expectation. It is what you want. But this is what we're trying to teach people to set these expectations and set these boundaries right off the bat. Because, and I'm glad that he said he went to visit her and saw something different. So what if
Yeah.
he had, you know, she came and pretended that she was this excellent cook and good homemaker, and he didn't go to see the other side of her, and then they get married and she begins to exhibit that, then it's going to come off as if what, she deceived him. So I'm just glad that it played out that way, and it goes to, you know, kind of argument the point that we're saying that we need to be true to ourselves, we need to set boundaries and make known who we are, so that people either take us or leave us.
For Brian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Victoria,
Victoria, for
thank you
your
so much. I'm
beautiful,
going to read out what someone wrote something here. What Junior said, sorry if I may ask, who's going to do the cooking when they finally got married? Now, that's a good question, but that is the essence of the topic, setting boundaries. At the end of the day, when both of them are married, I'm trying to have us reply to Junior. At the end of the day, when the marriage must have taken place, sure, she's going to do the cooking. But we are trying to set the boundaries on time. Any man who wants a woman to continually cook for him, you do the right thing. You do the right thing by going, if you truly want her as a wife,
Yep.
you let your intentions known, first of all. So now we are talking about setting boundaries. It involves all these things. Now, you trying to make your girlfriend a cook while both of you are just dating, no commitments. I don't think it works out that way many times. It doesn't work out that way, you know. So that means as a man, you need something like they said, wife materials, but I hate using those words. I don't like it. For the fact you are looking for a wife, now let your intentions known. Be serious about it. Make commitment. At the end of the day, Junior, like you asked there, she eventually will cook for you. But you do not take advantage of someone in the name of, if you don't do that, I'm not going to marry you. Now, that's why we are talking about boundaries to be set on time. If we can set boundaries on time politely and let people know this is who I am, if you really want me, if you really want us to get serious, do the right thing. The moment you do that right thing, the person will come out openly to, you know, to make a home for you. So we don't want even a lady taking advantage of a man. Of course, we don't want any man taking advantage of women. And that's why we're holding this program, so that we can redefine people's mindsets, redefine it that you have the rights to set boundaries for your own good and for the good of whosoever that will eventually be your husband in future. Because when you do not set these boundaries to let them know this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I can tolerate, this is what I cannot tolerate. Now, when it comes to tolerating things, let me use something very simple as an example. Now, there is something like setting boundaries. I remember when I was still in school in university, I set my boundaries on time. Then I remember something happened. I was in front of my department chatting out with some of the girls. You know, we were just chatting. I have male friends more than girlfriends. Like, I'm always in company of guys because I feel comfortable around them because they don't gossip about me or you know, judge me and all that. But unfortunately, there was a friend of mine, a guy when I was in school. He was passing and I was in front of our department. Now, this is what I mean by setting your boundaries, letting people know this thing is not okay, or this is how I want this thing to be for me, depending on when both of you will come together. So she was passing. Initially, he greets me ordinarily and we greet each other. But this time around, he was passing with the multitude of students in front of our department. And don't forget that I'm already known, but aside from that, and this guy came and hit my bum. And hit my bum, press it at the same time. Now, I am someone who does don't joke with things like that. You don't cross that limit. No matter how good in front of every student, you don't do that to me. You don't touch my bum. You don't press my bum in the name of friendship. You don't do that. Now, what I mean by friendship is not boyfriend. No, he wasn't my boyfriend. We were just good friends. So when I warned him sternly, he became shy. He was disappointed in himself. You know, he held me and started apologizing in front of everybody. I said, okay, I'm fine. I've forgiven you, but please Don't do that next time. Do you know throughout my stay in university until I left, he never tried that with me again. And no other person did. Now, if I do not set the boundaries on time by letting him know this is not okay, what do you think will happen? Maybe one day he will touch my boobs and press my boobs. Who knows? So these are the things you set on time. I understand where Ebuka is coming from, but I can understand the lady as well. Whoever the girl is, I can understand her as well. So Ebuka's expectations actually so high, and unfortunately he did not get what he bargained for. And the lady on her own end, from what I understand Ebuka was saying, the lady is trying to also fight for her rights, but she doesn't know how to go about it. So she used that rude way to fight for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to blame the lady. Then Ebuka himself, I'm not going to blame Ebuka, but I would rather tell Ebuka, calm down a bit. No one is perfect. That's one thing you need to know. No one is perfect. So you need to calm down a bit in what you are looking for. And like I said again, this is the reason we are having this program, to redefine a lot of minds, to let them know these are the things that you need to do to set, to create happiness around you, so they don't come out tomorrow to say someone used you and dumped you. These are the things we all need to know. Etiosa, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Go
still
ahead,
back,
contribute what you want.
yes. Back to the fact that her and
Yeah.
and the lady. The question is, how long have they been talking on the phone?
Not
How,
long.
Yeah.
how familiar are they to one another? You understand? So, okay. I, for one, I'm a widow. Okay, I'm a widow, and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That wasn't what I was expecting. You understand? So I did it because I'm a mother. I did it because I am the type that take initiative. That's who I am. But am I looking forward to become somebody's wife again? It's a big question mark.
Yeah.
Am I looking forward to to for somebody to validate me that I'm a wife material? Absolutely not. I did it because of my experience and the
Why are
fact
you laughing?
that I'm a mother. So I don't need validation from anybody to do that. You understand? So what went wrong in what Ebuka was saying is the fact that the question is, how long have they been talking? How familiar are they to one another? What is it that they have? How have they been building this relationship until they end up in each other's houses? Yeah? You see, those questions is Ebuka that will be able to answer them for us, because we can answer them. Yeah?
He said it. He
Yeah.
said that they were talking on TikTok and then he invited her over. So that was their first official face-to-face
Yes.
visit.
For how long? For 1 week? 1 month?
No,
We don't know.
oh, you mean talking online?
Yes.
I don't think it was long from
Yeah.
what he was. I
So
don't think it was long. It was just talking. Yeah.
his expectation was just too high. And again, the question in the comment section, who is going to do the cooking? Listen, in as much that a woman doesn't feel comfortable and feel secure around a man, the woman is not going to, she's not going to back down. She's not going to put her legs on the ground there. She's not going to do that. She's not going to. Seriously.
What do you mean?
I mean, if a woman visits a man, you want to know that, okay, this person got my back. You understand? You want to know that this man, yes, things might not be good today, but he will be able to provide a secure environment for me. He will be able to give me that, the this is not material thing that I'm talking about. I'm just speaking from experience, okay? Because when you feel comfortable around somebody, the person becomes your friend automatically, unknowingly to you. You can discuss whatever you want with that person. You can share anything with that person. You understand? But when you go to somebody for the first time, you don't have that sense of I'm a guest. I feel welcome in this house. But rather, I feel it's a door of work. Let me walk here. I need to prove something to this guy that I am worth it. I need to be validated here. No, it's wrong. And a lot of people and Chiege, you said something like the fact that some people just move in to some ladies moving into a man's house and stuff. Yeah.
Impermanent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong.
So I think women that does things like that, they are I don't know the right word to use for them. I'm not going to call them a gold digger. Will I say they are lazy or they just want to? I don't know. I really can't find the right word to use for them because I wouldn't understand why you would just
I think
you
the
get
right
to know
word should be
somebody.
desperation. I think they are desperate, of which no
Yes,
one
that's
should be
okay. Thank you.
desperate. I think we want to use
Thank you.
desperation. Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
word. Desperate. So then I will ask myself the question, why would I be desperate as a woman? Why am I desperate as a woman? Why do I want to just pack my load and move into a man's house when I have not really gotten to know who he is and what he can, how he can support me, how he can bring out the best in me, and how I can bring out the best in him. You see, the word bringing something to the table. In fact, my dear, you cannot tell me that you know somebody.
It's a
Yeah, go
woman who
ahead.
is desperate that feels if she is not in that home, that another lady might occupy her space and will eventually be married off. So it's desperation, not love. But a woman is not going to tell you. So we are trying to change it to let them know that you don't have to be desperate for anything. All you need is just
Yes,
to
that's
put
true.
yourself in order. Have some respect as a woman. Be
You need to
polite
know your
to
worth
say
as a
things the way
woman. Know
it
your
is.
worth.
Yes, know your worth. As a matter of fact, by the time you value yourself without looking for any validation out there as a woman, you know your worth. You are respectful, polite, but at the same time, you are who you are. You know what I mean by you are polite to people, but you are still you. No one can box you. Then that's when you can attract whichever man that understands the aspect you are coming from. It's not by living with
Yep.
a man permanently. It's totally wrong to live with a man for years without the man committing to you. Anything can happen in future. It's wrong. So if you tell me a love makes a woman to live with a man for 3 years, 4 years, 5, I tell you it's desperation, not love. The
That's
woman
it.
is desperate, but the man doesn't know. She will be telling you I love you because of love. It's not love. She's actually fighting the territory to be the one that will stay there. But in the end, it doesn't pay. It comes with heartbreaks anyway.
No, what I'm
Go
saying
ahead,
too,
Victoria.
as someone, so, this is someone that they're looking to develop a relationship with. For me, I would be expecting for the guy to really give me a good time, show me around, make sure, because he should be, it's not only me showing him that I'm a wife material, I also need to see that you're a husband material, somebody who is loving, caring, and giving. So somebody who is loving and caring and giving would want to make sure that my visit is amazing. You should be planning things that we're going to do, not just sit in bed and sleep all day long. No, you should say, hey, okay, listen, welcome. She said they came, they went out the night before and ate and everything. And the next morning, say, hey, there are some cool places around in town. I'm going to take you there. You should be showing me that you are not just looking for a wife. You want to be my partner. You want to take care of me as well. You're going to take care of me. So show me a good time. Take me out. Take me to interesting place. I don't want to sit in the house all day cooking and cleaning for you. So that is what relationships should be based on. You showing me that you are someone who is going to make my life good, and I will be someone who will make your life good as well. So, this kind of gives me an idea of who you are going to be to me when we do tie the knot, when we do get married. That you're going to spoil me, you're going to make things fun for me. If you give a woman a good life, she will give you a good life. I'm not saying that there are people who are not horrible who will do differently. That would happen. But if I come visit you and you give me a good time, I want to go home and tell my friends like, wow, this guy is something else. Oh my God, we went to the beach, we did this, we did that, we went to hang out with my friends. Not having your friends come to your house. They shouldn't have visited him and then he left the house with them. That is, if I come to visit you because you're upset with me that I did not cook and clean, you left the house and went to hang out with your friend. What? You are defining everything that I need to see in that relationship. That was so wrong. I mean, it's like a woman would not do that. Can you imagine inviting your boyfriend over and then telling your friends to come and they come and you leave your boyfriend in the house to go hang out with your friend? What does that tell you?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. That's when I use the word security, a conducive environment.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Because if a man does not create that for a woman, the woman is never going to come out of her shell. One side. I always tell people a coin has two sides. Okay? But some people just choose to see one side of the coin. But no, you have to see both sides of the coin before you can spend it. Because the energy you bring to me is what I'm going to give you back.
Period.
You understand? So, in the case of Ebuka was expecting a lot from that lady, and the lady said, We are women. We sense things. We do. We have instincts. We work with our instincts a lot. So if a woman now go ahead
Sure.
and you move in with a man after 3 months of dating, and with the hope of you want to secure that environment. Who you want secure? You want kill yourself? Eh? Wait till you go eat, you go tire. You want to start eating it and then you're just, you want to eat it in one day. You learn to eat little by little, and then as time goes on, you start being creative. You start being creative in that relationship. What are you telling me?
Yeah, sure.
Gone are the errands of our
Yeah,
parents.
sure.
Now they say, "Oh, I am sitting there because of my children." Hell no, I won't sit in a relationship where I'm boring with a potato bag. What am I going to do with a potato bag of a man? No, 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 no.
All right, I'm
Women,
going
we
to
should
read
put
out
value
this
on
question.
ourselves.
I'm going to read out this question now. There's another question. He said,
Okay.
what about the man that also lived with her for 3 years? We were talking about a woman packing into a man's house, living with her. We are trying to educate that is desperation, actually not love. Now, this question is coming from Junior. He says, what about the man that also lived with her for 3 years? What do you call that? Now, I'm going to state the facts the way it is, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be harsh here. Any woman that allows a man to move in and start living with you without commitments, the commitment I'm talking about is without marriage, that man is not man enough. Period.
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to tolerate a man moving in and living with, even if the man tells maybe it's just for a few years, let me get myself back. No, that man is not man enough. That's why I said I'm going to be harsh here. A true man, he can only tolerate that by the time both of you are married as husband and wife, and something happened along the line, and you people find yourself in the woman's family house. That's okay. That's okay, because life happens to every one of us. But at that time, both of you are husband and wife because it is one. You guys are no longer two, it is one. But hell no. Boyfriend and girlfriend stuff, you allow a man to move into your house for 3 years alone, and you expect this man to sit up in future and be a man to you. No, that man is going to be a man to another lady out there he is not squatting with. Every man
I bless
wants
you.
to be a man. Any
That's
man
just
that lives with you, under your roof, you paying the house rent, you feeding that man, and he's telling you, baby, I'm gonna get my feedback. My sister, run. That's not a man. That is not a man. No matter how a man is passing through hell, but for the fact there is no commitment in terms of marriage between you and him, even if you give that man money to establish it, a real man will say no. You know why? Every man wants to be a man. A man wants to be in charge the way God made them. Now, how can you tell me one is living under your roof, you taking care of everything, and tomorrow you want him to wake up all of a sudden and start taking care of everything as a man? Baby, you are going to do that till the rest of your life until the day he dumps you. That is not a man. So women should stop tolerating this nonsense. If he tells you,
Yes.
I need a place to stay, can I come into your house just a year? I'm sorry, say no. He's not going to die. Hello? He's not dying. Tell him move back to his family home where he grew up. Say it politely, but do not allow a man to move in with you while both of you are just having my boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. It doesn't work. That same man that is living under your roof that you are taking care of is actually taking care of another woman out there. Because you know, he knows he has lost it. And you, unknowingly to you, you have totally lost your respect for him, but you're not going to know. You won't. And if you make the mistake of eventually tying the knot, he is no longer used to taking care of anything. He's not used to it. You will continue from where you stopped. And that's why at the end of the day, both of you will break up. Because he's now a man to someone out there. Someone he provides for. Someone that looks up to him like his man, like a man. What every man wants. So for that one that is coming to live with you, I'm sorry, that's not man enough. Please, what you have to say. I'm saying this because of what Junior wrote here. What about the man that also lived with her for 3 years? What do you call that? This is my take on it. I don't know. I don't know, Victoria. What's your take on this?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I would never condone that. That is absolutely unacceptable. And, and then here is one thing that most women don't know who allowed that is that the man is actually resentful of you. They hate the fact that you are the provider and not them. And which is why when they get that money, they go to somebody else because men believe that they are men, that it is their responsibility to take care of some of their family, of their woman, of their wife, or whatever the case may be. And when they don't have the ability to do that, they become resentful. Now, I'm talking about when you're not, in fact, in some cases, when it's even in marriage, that does happen. They become resentful. So think about it. Once they get that money, what do? They leave and find somebody else who will give them that authority, who will give them that respect that they want to get that they never got, from you because you were the provider. Because what's the word I'm looking for? It takes away their masculinity. They become
It takes it away. And they don't want it.
They become more feminine than masculine, and that is very annoying to them, to a man. So they need to be in charge. So when they're not in charge, just realize that they do not love you. You're making things easy because, hey, he comes home, his clothes is washed, he has food on the table, he sleeps with you. It'll be a conversation. And again, it goes back to what we're talking about knowing who we are. When we're growing up, we're realizing who we are so that we set these boundaries. Like you said, if it's a woman who has a strong sense of boundaries, when he calls and say, hey, I don't have where to stay, can I move in with you? She'll say, absolutely not. Don't you have friends? Go stay in your buddy's house or go back to your family house. Go. No, you're not staying in my house because she knows that that's something that she's not going to tolerate. So let's not deviate from our conversation of the boundaries. I mean, it's part of it, but it is important that we know these things. That we know this. So a woman who has a strong sense of self and realizes who she is and what she wants would know that that is not something that will be negotiated. She'll be like, oh, you know what? I sympathize with you. here is $200. You can manage that, but absolutely you cannot stay with me. I know you're going through a lot, but I need you to find yourself. You're a man. I'm going to ginger you. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to boost your ego and tell you that I know you got this. Go look for your friend and sleep in their couch. And I'll be
Yeah.
here to support you in any way I can, but you cannot stay here. That is
Yeah.
recognizing that you are a woman. You need to be taken care of. You are a feminine woman, right? So if you now turn it around and allow him to be the feminine and you become the masculine, you're actually changing the course of what God wants you to have in your life as well. So it shouldn't be something that we will entertain.
Yeah, no man wants that. All right. The setting boundaries, that is the main topic of today. Let me just read it all out where I have it here. Uh, Simple personal boundaries you should set in your life. Now, what I have here, I said, say no when you don't have time or energy to help someone. Very important. Then the second one, I say, spend money intentionally on things you really need or love. All right. Another one is communicate your needs to others without feeling guilty. Now, take time to process your feelings before reacting emotionally. I have them written all down here. Now, I said, set boundaries around activities to focus on achieving to please anybody. You've already set your goal and you must achieve it. You need to set boundaries for you to achieve your goals. Now, I have here in this one, I said, manage your time wisely. Manage your time involves a lot of things. That is what I mean by say no when you mean to say no and yes when you want to say yes. Don't please people and displease yourself by saying yes when you are supposed to say no. Now, I said here, say no to friends asking for something that makes you uncomfortable. Victoria, let's talk about this particular one. Now, friends asking you something that makes you uncomfortable, women should begin to learn how to say no to that. I'm telling you the truth. And again, this thing also evolves around people dating. There are some men who loves their women to send them maybe nude pictures online. They tell you, I love it.
Yeah.
Keep sending it. I'm going to love you the more because we're not close. And you as a woman, I mean, it's not your thing. You don't like it. You don't want to do that. How do you let it out open? That's why setting boundaries is quite important. If you set the boundaries of telling your man, no, I don't like this, I don't do that, whatever the outcome is in the beginning, let it be. If the outcome is that he will walk away without continuing in that relationship, it wasn't even meant for you in the first place. But in case it's someone that actually respects you, for me, if he actually respects you, he will let you know what he likes. But it is left for you to say, okay, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't want to do that. And for someone that actually respects and loves you, he will quit. He's not going to ask you for that again. Now, for women who doesn't know how to say no to friends or to a loved one, asking for something that makes them so uncomfortable, how are we going to educate them on that? Victoria?
Yeah. So, like I said, as we grow, we evolve. We need to start relearning some things that we used to do and think it's okay. I have done a lot of that myself, where I'm relearning a lot of things. I'm at a point where I'm very comfortable saying no when I don't want to do something. It's not even, I don't even open the avenue for us to have discussion about it or to see your point of view. For us to have discussion about it or to see your point of view. I understand what you're saying, but at this point, I have nothing to. This is my point of view. I'm not going to do that, and it is what it is. That's it. So it's important that we need to start really, because sometimes we just sit and we're not trying to change. We're not trying to develop ourselves. We're not trying to learn, and we remain in that mentality that we've had that is not really serving us. So reading books, joining organizations like yours now, listening to people talk is a way for us to learn and relearn things. So being comfortable saying no is okay. And when the person you're saying no to takes it the wrong way, then it's time for you to reevaluate that relationship. There's something I used to say, that people who have a problem with you setting boundaries are people who knew that they were abusing that boundaries.
That's it. That's it.
So if you come all the
Yeah.
time, you're like, hey, give me $50, hey, give me $100, and I'm always giving it to you, I'm giving it to you. And then one day, and then I learned my lesson. I say, hey, come on. Every time I go to Chiga and ask her, can I get $100? She tells me no, but she comes to me and I give it to her all the time. You know what? I'm gonna stop giving it to her. So when you come the next time and you ask me and I say, oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry, I'm not gonna be able to give it to you. What do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna get upset, right? And why are you upset? Because I never had boundaries with you before. You were benefiting from me not having boundaries.
Exactly.
So when you get that, when you get that moment of her and set the boundaries and they have a problem with it, that tells you right there and there that it was a necessary boundary. And now that it's not there, people have a problem with it. So I had to use that to really re-educate myself and stay firm in the boundaries that I have set over the last few years. That anyone who has a problem with a boundary that I set is someone who was abusing the boundaries I did not have prior. And that's it. And that allowed me to move on without getting upset.
Yeah.
If they choose not to be my friends anymore, if they choose not to, I'm okay for you to go. So
Yeah.
anything, and here's another thing with setting those kind of boundaries and saying no. Be also prepared for you to have conflict with that person, because they would object to that. They will make it seem like you guys are having a fight, but be ready to let them go. Because once you stick to your point of view and say, no, I'm not going to do this, and they fight back, you cannot go back to saying, okay, fine. No, you cannot do that. Because once you do that, you are breaking that boundary that you've set, and you're not really making any progress with that relationship. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Setting boundaries we are talking about in today's episode. All right, for our resilient roses watching, and for even the men right here in the house watching, for you to know on how to begin to set your boundaries, because boundaries, the world scares a lot of people. It scares a lot of people. They don't even know how to begin, where to start from. Now, I'm going to tell you guys how you can start, for whosoever watching us right now. For you to start to set boundaries and learning how to set boundaries in your life, first of all, relax. Breathe in, breathe out. You should know that you owe nobody nothing and no one owes you anything. Secondly, you should know that you are not in competition with anyone. Even if you think you are in a competition with people, I tell you right now, you are not in competition with anyone at the end of the day. Now, thirdly, you feed yourself. They don't feed you. You are the one who feeds yourself. Assuming that person is actually the one giving you money to feed from and taking advantage of you, I want you to know that you still have the right to say no to the money they are giving you because you are tired of how they are taking advantage of you. Now, by the time you realize that in this life we are living in this world, that we are just passing moments, number one, the world is not a place, like he said. And again, at the end of the day, you don't owe anybody anything. You are accountable to how you live. To say no when you are not comfortable with whatever anybody is mounting pressure on you. Now, saying no, like Victoria rightfully said, get ready for the outcome of it. And no matter the outcome of the no you gave out to them, please let them go. I have never seen anybody that said that friendship, I mean, we have good friends. Yeah, I'm not disputing the fact that we have good friends. But at the same time, we are not obliged to anyone. So if that friendship is keeping you uncomfortable, forcing you to always say yes, 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 like you don't have no in your diary, it's high time you sit up. Sit up, because one thing about this life is no one is going to fight for you, my dears. You are there to fight for yourself. No one will come to your rescue. You are the one to rescue yourself. So if you tell me you will not set boundaries in your life, you are creating more problems in future for yourself. We create boundaries politely, but stand your ground. Create the boundaries, stand your ground. Because human beings naturally loves to control. Human beings by nature wants to control each other. But you can tell someone you are not there for that person to control politely, stand your ground. Don't just say something because they say they're going to leave you. Now you start thinking, okay, maybe let me just allow her or let me just allow him. It has never helped anyone, and it will not start now. So here I wrote, keep others at a respectful distance with good boundaries. You know what I mean by that, Victoria? When you keep someone at a respectful distance,
Yep.
with good boundaries. For those of us who doesn't know how to set boundaries, start with this particular one. What I mean by keeping someone at a respectful distance, assuming they are your friends, but they are suffocating you all the time. It's simple. If you're scared of keeping boundaries to them, when they invite you out like they used to, tell them you can't come out. Begin from there. Now you are still giving them respect, but at a distance. Now you are setting your boundaries even unknowingly to you. Before you know it, if you do that today, do that tomorrow next, you get used to it. They're screaming, I hate her. She's this. I don't like her. My dear, you don't even care anymore.
I don't care.
You are stupid. You don't care? That's their headache. You are not having a headache. They are the ones drinking Panadol. You don't care.
Right.
These are the things we need women in particular to begin to learn. Men can do this. I don't know. I don't know what God get men. I don't know how He created men, but men walks away easily. Haven't you noticed? They walk away easily. And the moment they leave, they've forgotten you. They are moving on with their life instantly. Women, we don't know how to walk away like that.
We don't know how to.
Oh my God, that's the piece I'm talking about is unexplainable. Honestly, I can't even explain it. Victoria, help me out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is. When I started doing that, I saw how peaceful my life was. It was crazy. In fact, at one point, I had joined this organization that was Christian based, and I found some sort of there was a lot of toxicity in the the whole organization, and because I've set the boundaries in my life that I only go where I'm celebrated and loved, and I love them back. I'm not in competition with anyone. I respect and I will support people. So when I joined the organization, I saw a lot of, I was like, you know what? I reached out to the person who had invited me to join, and I said, I don't think this is for me. She said, oh, why? But it's for God and things like that. I said, no, I don't like this. I've worked so hard to not kind of be in any relationship where there is a lot of back and forth, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of talking down at people. I don't do that. But she kept insisting that I stay on that because it was for Christ. And so somebody did cross that boundaries, and I walked out. And when they were trying to resolve the issue, what they kept saying to me that I should accept it because it was for God. And I said, no. There is no relationship on earth that God would allow that allows you to be disrespected, talked down on, or not respected. I said, no, I am not, I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to be a party to this. And I left. But I was blamed. I was condemned because I chose not to break my boundary. I said, no, any relationship I get into with anyone, with any organization, with any place, it has to be mutually beneficial. There's going to be mutual respect. There's going to be mutual understanding of what is and what is not. And if anybody cannot keep that, I'm going to quietly remove myself. I'm not going to beat you. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to do that. It's not working for me. So my boundary is I only have anything to do with people who are peaceful, who are respectful, who are loving, who wants to help me be better, and who I want to help be better. If that does not exist, I'm okay. And you can use Christ, you can use God, But because I know my relationship with God, you can't even use that to make me change my boundaries. So this is an example of having my peace of mind because I know my expectation that I set, and that's what it would be. I said, I'm sure I'm going to find another organization where I'm able to have a relationship with Christ and have a good relationship with people where there is no toxicity in that relationship. I don't want that kind of dynamic. And I was peaceful for it. I love it. And the organization ended up not surviving. After a few months, they dissolved. But so this is for me. This was an example of boundary that brought me peace and showed me that you were right in setting these boundaries with people.
You have to, honestly. All right, guys, we have come to the end of the program. But before we leave, my last take on today's episode on boundaries is, please, you all begin to set these boundaries and you will experience this peace that we're talking about here. And when you experience that peace, please, I would like you guys to come back here. Tell us how you feel. Tell us how the journey has been. We would love to hear your testimonies, because for me, that's a testimony. A lot of people are living in bondage. They don't even know they are living in bondage, because we are still holding on tight on friendship that is killing you, holding on tight on so many relationships that are killing you. But by the time you said, you know what, I let go of everything. This is my boundaries. For anyone about it, you don't need to quarrel, don't need to yell. Just quietly move on. You will experience this peace that I'm talking about. And for anyone or whosoever that is fighting you because of your boundaries, well, they are the ones who's going to suffer the consequences of having heartache, a headache, high blood pressure, and you name them. But as for you, by the time you realize all these things and know that, hey, what are we even dragging in this world? You don't have to allow some toxins into your life. You can say, all right, I'm not comfortable with this. And if that's not okay by you, I respect your wish. But I expect you to respect my wish as well. I am not okay with it. Everybody will move on their way. By the time, some of them along the line might realize, maturity, when maturity sets in or their life kicks in, they will realize what you did in the past and they will begin to appreciate it. But by then, bye-bye to them, respect them from a distance. Remember, you are not anybody's enemy. If they say you are their enemy, that's their headache, not your headache, my dear. Not your own head. So that's my take on this. That's my advice for you. Victoria, what do you have to just give us one advice on this boundary stuff here for our viewers out there?
All right, let's go home and just let's go think about things that we're doing that is really affecting us and start making changes. We're here to support you. This lovely lady has set up a platform to help women. She's very passionate about helping women. And you're bringing topics every day on things that would help us become better people. So guys, come back and talk to us, talk to her, and see how your life will change. Thank you. Thank you, Chige.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, my darling. Before I leave, let me appreciate some people here. RP, I saw all he or she has been doing. And Beauty Case, thank you so much. RP, thank you so much. And Junior, I truly, truly appreciate you, Junior. And of course, Etiosa is no longer here with us. She took permission. I really appreciate Etiosa. And of course, Ebuka, who came up. Ebuka, we are loved. We love you so much, and we truly appreciate your own opinions. So, and for the rest of us who have been here with us, God bless everyone. And I wish you all peace from inside to outside, from head to people here. RP, I saw all he or she has been doing. And Beauty Case, thank you so much. RP, thank you so much. And Junior, I truly, truly appreciate you, Junior. And of course, Etiosa is no longer here with us. She took permission. I really appreciate Etiosa. And of course, Ebuka, who came up. Ebuka, we are loved. We love you so much, and we truly appreciate your own opinions. So, and for the rest of us who have been here with us, God bless everyone. And I wish you all peace from inside to outside, from head to toe, all around peace. That's all I'm wishing all my fans out there. So to my co-host Victoria has always been my co-host. Victoria, thank you. I couldn't have done this without you. You already know that, and I truly appreciate every moment you spent with us here on this platform, and God bless you. And of course, I'm expecting to see you next week, Wednesday. And for all of you watching us, this program, we always hold this every Wednesdays and Saturdays by 5 p.m. Till this time, we're ending it. It's already 7 down here in Nigeria. I truly appreciate you guys. God bless everyone and take care of yourself. Until we see next week, Wednesday by 5 p.m. Bye,
All right, thank
Victoria.
you.
Love you so
Bye.
much. Bye,
You too.
Hannah. Bye, everyone. Love
Bye.
all of you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for everything. God bless everyone. Bye. Good night.